When I arrived here for the first time, I saw a little boy who reminded me of my brother. But today I realized that he is not the same as he was on the 12th of December. He is a grown man, a real warrior who is living through all of the difficulties of serving his country with dignity. This is what lawyer Alexandra Markova wrote about her client, the youngest of the 24 captured Ukrainian sailors, Andrei Ader. In a Russian court, he refused to answer any questions by the prosecution. He is considered a prisoner of war. The sailor's stepmother, Yevgenia, also noticed how much he has changed. She says that before being captured, Andrei was just a child. What is a 17, 18-year-old young man like? He's just a teenager, interesting and whimsical. He's not a teenager anymore. Even though security forces don't allow Yevgenia to meet her stepson, Andrei's letters are a telltale sign of how much he has changed since being captured by the Russian forces. I am not surprised that he changed, but I am really proud of him. I understand that he is a changed man now. He asks questions as a grown man, really serious questions. He thinks differently and looks different as well now. Volodymyr Tereshchenko, the senior sailor of the Yanikapu tugboat, shaved the Ukrainian coat of arms on the back of his head. This shocked the prison authorities. According to his lawyer, Anastasia Georgievskaya, the sailor teaches Ukrainian to his cellmates and thinks of creative ways to stay in shape in the absence of decent conditions. He demonstrates great skills now. He does sports when he goes for a walk. There is no equipment in there, so he just stands against the wall and does his push-ups upside down. This is something amazing, and he can do it. In 3 months, the Russian security forces failed to break the spirit of the Ukrainian sailors. All of them said they are prisoners of war and refused to surrender to provocations by the FSB. They say the Russian security service is trying to make them testify against each other.
Some of the cellmates have crumbled under pressure. When a so-called fake cellmate is put on a cell, and his job is to shape the other people's views or get some information out of the other convict. All of our prisoners of war have received instructions from their lawyers on how to behave in such a situation. They know that they should not talk to anyone or sign any papers without the presence of lawyers or consuls. None has stepped away from those instructions so far.
The sailors are also under physical pressure. Lawyers are worried about the health of those who are wounded during the attack in the Black Sea. Foreign doctors are denied access to the prisoners. Russian specialists only conduct examinations. And the Russian Human Rights Commissioner keeps ignoring her Ukrainian counterpart. She runs away from me. They all run away from me. They just don't know why the prisoners of war are being held in custody. They don't know why the captured are not provided with necessary medical aid. Moskalkova says they are being examined, but they need to be treated and healed. We keep repeating like a prayer that there is a Geneva Convention and they all need to be released because they are prisoners of war. The Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe considers the captured sailors to be prisoners of war. A Moscow court attached the resolution to the cases of 8 sailors. However, this hasn't made an impact on the way they are treated. Ukraine is continuing to call for international support and more pressure on Russia. The European Union has imposed sanctions against the Russian officers who took part in capturing Ukrainian sailors. It is a very good signal, but it isn't enough. The Ukrainian government will provide all efforts to make the needed step. We will actively convey to Brussels, Paris, London and Berlin that these sanctions are not enough. We are also waiting for an additional package of sanctions from the United States. Russian security forces captured Ukrainian ships Berdyansk and Nikopol, as well as the Yanikapu tugboat in the Black Sea in neutral waters on November 25, 2018. The vessels were heading to Odessa from Mariupol. Later, the staff of the Ukrainian armed forces published the intercepted conversation between the Russian forces and their commanders during the attack.
Надо их заебать. Медведев уже в такой панике орёт, такое ощущение, что там президент контролирует всю эту хуйню.
О, я знаю, я понимаю, но попытки есть.
Винторулевую куда-нибудь, что-нибудь им блядь. Ты не пытался его носом?
Пытаюсь, он не подпускает.
С лафетов пытаешься заливать его, нет?
Не, они у нас не фурычат.
24 sailors were captured. 3 of them were wounded. The Ukrainians were transported to Moscow, where they were put on trial on fabricated charges. Since their capture, 2 received officer ranks in absentia. Reported by Lyubov Zadorozhna, UATV.